The young woman practiced light and shadow. Alright, first let's draw a circle. Look at the position of his skull, point number 1. Isn't it kind of off to the side? Because it leans a lot to the left. So what do you think the degree of that lean is? After that, you can't see the whole bone from here at this angle. So he needs to find the fissures on both sides. Then what is this side of his face, this edge line? So what kind of pattern have you all noticed? Let's assume it's a kind of rule. These corner points, point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, point number 4, they all land on this complete trajectory, right? They all land there, and that really helps us. We can find his hairline from this point number 1 from this location. So this whole upper part is his skull. And this spot is also his skull, right? After that, find the position of the plumb line on his face there. Then we'll draw a center line here in this area. And what should this center line have? Shouldn't it have a curve, right? We can find this curve relationship for it. Now let's mark the position of the mid-chord. After that, what is this position, the lower chord? You'll see this middle chord is a bit longer. After marking this spot, it's his eye socket. This part is the shape of his eye socket. Then we'll set a point for the face, his cheek, and this key location. At this spot, what should we look for? Fingers. It seems to lean towards a set of parallel lines, right? After this spot, let's go over here. First, set a point. The eye is here, below the eye, roughly at this position. We'll set a point. See, isn't it a shape that's narrow at the bottom and wide at the top? After that, what's this position? The entire palm area. Where does this palm area extend to? Here we are. This section is the whole area of his palm. Once you've finished this part, it's the area of his wrist. After finishing this palm, press down on this point right here. After you're done, you'll see the shape of the whole hand come together. Actually, hands are really difficult for us. So why do we practice by increasing the difficulty? It's because once you get the hang of this way of thinking, you'll become stronger. Once we finish this, what can we find now? Let's look for some hairstyle ideas. For the hair, let's first set this position. Once this position is done, extend this point. This point corresponds to the nose. It's slightly above the tip of the nose. Once this part is finished, there's a relationship with the hair. There is a connection to the hair. After finding this side, let's wait a moment. What should we establish first? First, let's sketch out the facial features. Once we've found the facial features, we can consider the accuracy of the cheeks. Aren't his eyebrows still more arched upward? So let's draw that sensation stronger. After this, connect the inner and outer corners of the eyes and lift them upward. This upward lift is bigger, but this one will be slightly smaller. The nasal septum, let's slightly push the nose's position up a little bit. Push it up a tiny bit, the gap between the inner corners of the two eyes. Once it's done, using the shape of the inner corner of the eye, let's determine the nostril width. What do you notice about the whole nose? The tip of the nose is wide, but the overall area of the nose isn't as wide, right? After defining that, we can double check. Check it over. Once that's done, the position of the lower lip, the point on the chin. Once it's done at this place, you can set the corners of the mouth on both sides. What is this position? Depress a labii inferioris muscle. What can we find in this position? Make it a bit squarer, let it stand out and look squarer. Once it's done, the overall hairstyle. Some friends might say, "Teacher, you've adjusted the chin, but what about the hands? Let's just tweak the hands a bit." You see, our hands still end up leaning towards something. What is it? Wide at the top, narrow at the bottom, one side wide, the other narrow. After it's done, shaping this joint. Yes, shaping this joint. Alright, now we feel like we can widen the whole hair in this area a bit more. This side can be widened a bit more. Now you can push this shoulder out. When you're finding this shoulder, make sure to pinpoint a good spot for both shoulders. Okay, now we can find some specific styles. Let's look for the specifics. You see, in the direction of the eye. Alright, now what can we find? See, let's look inside. the overall relationship with the outer corner of the eye. Okay, also at this spot, what's there? Double eyelids. We can bring out the shape of the eyebrow tail. Alright, adjust the lower eyelid a bit towards this side. At this spot, there's a position for the inner corner of the eye. Okay, what's this spot? It's the position of the nose pad and bridge. After that, the position of the tear trough brings out a feature. Alright, now let's move on to the nose. First, let's establish the width of the septum for the nose. First, find the width of the nasal septum and the position of the nostrils. Once we're done here at this position, nostrils, this spot here, it'll have a nasolabial fold after it's done at this position here. This spot on the person, once we're done, his lips will be a little flat here at this spot. There's an upward angle for the lower lip muscle at this position, looks good. Following this edge, we can start looking for something, the outer edge of his face. The shape it turns down at this spot, it'll have a curve. This spot will turn down a bit. We'll bring in some surrounding details after this. The chin area here, it'll have thickness afterwards. Find his head seam line. This spot is his head seam line actually. Facial features are hard to locate. See, just defining a set of lines. Look here, line by line. I'm still drawing with an HB pencil. Look, the HB pencil can make it darker then. With the whole hair styled when it's done, there's a certain turn. Where is the light coming from? Is it still from the right? But even though the right side is brighter, this area is relatively backlit. Look at this position. There's a finger's width here. Our fingers, finding each joint by joint at this spot, bring it inward slightly after it's done. This position connects to the hairstyle. See here, use some masking points. Erase some guidelines, make it cleaner a bit afterwards. No need to emphasize shoulder pads, just bring out one line. Just bring out this set of lines. Don't highlight the shoulder points for the drawing, add a bit more color. Fill here, we're gradually adding color shaping, look, bit by bit. The color relationships kind of show up this step we're at now. It's relatively simple. All the hardest steps were in finding the shape. Now refine this edge a bit, apply the edge color paint. It in this whole area is the dark part of the hair. Then for the facial features, fill in the color. See, the features are a hemisphere. It's a sphere, and then block the shadow of a hemisphere. Look at the whole left side, it's a bit darker. Draw the eyeball, eyelid. At this point, you mark and define it line by line. Let's draw the eyeballs. No attention to detail was considered. Now we command everyone to practice some single component stuff. Look, this spot is stuck. At this moment, I went to this painting. Everyone, look at how I drew this part. Is this a small triangle? After sweeping, go further inside to stun. Make sure to paint these colors with great intensity. Enough drawing. It needs to be strengthened. Look at this position and also its design. Let's turn off this color and find it. Look at this position. Look, isn't it in the card shop? The card is still quite heavy. This spot, everyone, please don't get stuck like this. Is it just messing around? Just start talking about this edge. I draw 10,000 strokes. That's the edge weight. You must control the brush tip. Look at this position, find the shape, find out what it looks like, an inverted trapezoid, right? It is an inverted trapezoid. See, it's not just random arrangements. You can't randomly line up here, just a little. The shape on top of the head is outward. We don't need to pick them out one by one for now. Our whole brush is used. Or maybe it's more about finding a piece of his noodles. If it's not heavy enough, we just press it with some lime. Look at this position. This spot is still relatively bright. Bring some gray between your two hands. Press out a bit of color. Press out this color. What are we relatively talking about? Relatively rub some dust for it, rub some ash. This shape, let's move a bit in. This is the shape, let's move a bit further inside. Press the color of this area inward. Look, there are some stripes on this part, right? Along with one stick, the scene is nearing the end. It's about making it a bit more refined. Put some scrap wires on them, or lines that are useless, wipe it off. Alright, today, let's take this photo. Feeling, let's follow them out. This one is for everyone to practice and guide the phenomenon. Practice this character with hands. How does he handle it?